Heart in pieces, torn apart. Felt so low, couldn't see the way. Thought I'd never find the day. Broken down, but I'm not done. Picking up the pieces, one by one. Rising up, stronger than before. I'm finding me, I'm something more. Every step feels heavy, slow, but I'm learning how to grow. Scars remind me where I've been. Fuel the fire to begin again. But I'm not done. Picking up the pieces, one by one. Rising up, stronger than before. I'm finding me, I'm something more.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Seventh Floor Podcast. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Yes, the man in the white is lovely, along with Raven D. And by the way, I forgot to say his name, Video Shane. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching now live or on the replay, we're here to review Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 8, the finale, guys. The finish. I think this is also might have been the final episode, according to Gunn, but we'll get into that. But guys, before I start talking with my co-hosts and getting the guest co-hosts in because they're down in the studio, let's take a look at the synopsis of the finale. Basically, it's called The Full Nelson, and it picks up with a broken Chris Smith who is consumed by guilt and believes he's a curse on everyone he cares about. In a powerful emotional scene, Leota Adebayo and the rest of the 11th Street kids refuse to let him go, rallying around him and reaffirming their bond, their found family and their bond together. While the team deals with this emotional fallout, Rick Flag Sr. enacts his endgame and we see his actual plans. A brutal, off-the-books prison universe called Salvation, designed to permanently exile any metahuman he deems a threat. In a shocking turn, Flag has Peacemaker abducted at the end of the episode by loyal Argus agents, aka Titties, with forged authorization was they banish him to the actual planet. So now Peacemaker is off planet on another dimension by himself. The season ends on a massive cliffhanger as Peacemaker is stranded alone on this hostile dimension. Meanwhile, his team regroups, officially forming the new independent agency called Checkmate. And we'll get into Checkmate, guys, because Checkmate is kind of like DC's version of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. With a new mission and a newfound purpose, the team forges forward as they try to expose the corruption that is going to be going on with Argus. Guys, this is the episode right here. I'm going to say hi to everyone. As soon as I get everybody else in the studio, stand by. All right. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. We have Christopher, Metabee, Slider, Raven, as well as D and Video Shane. Guys, we're going to get right in. What's up? Peacemaker, finale. Bunch of stuff happened. We got to see a bunch of doors in the QUC. We got to see some heartfelt moments. We got to see the boat, guys. We got to see what happened on the boat. We got to see some really tender moments. We got to see a really good, I want to say some closure for Peacemaker, at least with Harcourt. And we got to see some previews of what's going on in the DCU and the storylines that Gunn is going to take our characters through. So I'm going to just kind of like go down the line, kind of give me your guys' take, unpack the episode for me. We're going to start with you, Christopher, at the very end. Let's go.
Yes. You know, Adebayo's heartfelt speech to Chris, you know, that hit close to me. That was probably my favorite scene there in the motel. Just because I've had a similar speech said to me that really changed my life. So Yeah, and you just see the emotion in every one of the characters there, and it was just out. You could tell, like, you could tell when they're faking it. Come on, Hollywood. But you could definitely tell that they were real. It was real in that sense, and their emotions to each of them were coming from probably something personal that happened off the camera. So
Nice. Meta Beast.
Meta ticked off beast.
All right, tell us. Give it to us.
I am not a happy person with this. I feel there was too many things left unanswered. Too short of episodes too. I just feel they could have done so much more. I mean, where was I don't know. You said it's about characters. Okay, fine, whatever. But I felt there could have been more action. I'm confused. Are we just supposed to accept that Tim Meadows joined them at the end? Is it because of the cyborg or what?
Yes,
mean,
it was supposed to
if I really want to play it out in my head, I could, but I don't want to. I want to see it play out. Yeah, I mean, that's, I would have liked, yes, maybe they leave it. So will there be a third one? Who knows? But there better be, because I want to know more about Eagly too. I did like that Eagly gave Economos a hug. That was pretty cool.
That was good. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was every episode, because I didn't notice it until the last one, and I actually had to rewind and go back through the opening credits. Economos is running towards the camera like this at the end. Fingers up. Flipping somebody off. I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel too, motherfucker. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But we want to hear the rants and stuff like that. And I understand, like, the one thing I know is Flurry is a brand new character. And, a lot of people don't really know who Checkmate is. So, Bordeaux, she's a part of that realm along with Mr. Terrific and all that. And I have a synopsis of what Checkmate is, but I understand your feeling there. We have a co-host that didn't make it here tonight or today. I think he's feeling the same way. But let's go to Slider. Give me your take.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. I mean, like, I think Gunn does set up the next movie, pretty well, but I kind of think he, like, sacrificed some of Peacemaker to make that happen. Like, I kind of think, like, it would have been better if it ended on season, the last, episode 7. I think that would have been a pretty good, like, end to it. And I think, like, 8 was just kind of so he could put in Salvation and set it up. But I mean, we did get some, like, some closure to the character arcs and stuff. So, like, we finally found out what happened with, Hardcore and, the kiss with Peacemaker. And, like, that's what the whole thing was. And, how that really, like, shook her. And, so, I mean, I think that was, like, a good piece, for, what happened. But, I mean, I kind of think, that, like, I don't know. It's just, like, for me, it's kind of like the pacing of the season, because I went back and I looked, and if you add up all the episodes, it's like 5 hours and like 23 minutes, I think it is, so it's kind of like a movie, like, a Marvel movie plus like a little bit more. So it's, I don't know. It's like the pacing is just kind of off to me. And, I think like Earth X, I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. If he doesn't do anything with it, it's kind of like, there's just pieces that I just, after everything now, it's kind of, it just kind of left me wanting more. And, like I said, I think Gunn promised a lot too, towards the end that he really didn't have to or deliver on, because, he's hyping up saying 6 and 8 were the best episodes he ever directed. And I think 7 was the best. But then he said there's going to be huge cameos, and I couldn't figure out what the cameo was in 8. And then I'm thinking, like, is it because he brought back Lex's boys, like his crew? Was those the cameos? And, and then he said there was going to be another big death, and that was, the guy who threw up on the stripper. Like, that's the big death. Right? Like, I'm like, Yeah, so I don't know. So it was a mixed episode for me, really. Like there was parts I liked about it with the character development and arcs, but then really the pacing and just like how he did stuff. I don't know. I just like it left a bad taste in my mouth. So that's it.
All right. Whew, tough crowd. Raven.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of you guys. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed this episode. It made me happy. I mean, I still hate when Vigilante is such a dick to his mom. Like, I think like they pushed a button on me that I just can't stand that.
Yeah.
I like that they went back. That was the one thing I think when we started doing the review of this season, how it started off, and we didn't know what happened between the two of them, between Hardcourt and Peacemaker. And I like that we kind of got that storyline. There was a couple spots I felt that I think I drifted and went on my phone a little bit. Like there may have been a few where I wasn't quite locked in on the episode. But once that song started playing, I swear I jumped off the couch. And I was like, that's the original song. And then it was all happy feelings. Like I like that happy montage, but then it leaves you with the complete opposite at the end with Peacemaker being left alone. And again, you do want more. I want more. But I believe it's an opportunity there for a spin-off. Hope so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I walked away happy. Yeah.
Good take.
And to kind of hearken what Metabeast was saying prior about, you know, actually, you know what? I'll wait a little bit to the end. Let me wait to the end. Remind me to say what I was about to say, D, before I forget. Go ahead.
Oh, don't tell me that. Cause
No,
then...
I'll remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my experience is probably going to be a little different than everybody else in the panel, only from the standpoint that I had to get caught up. So I watched the last 2 episodes in one sitting. And so, you know, it felt more like a film in the sense that really the last episode was more of like the decompression that happens after the climax, you know, because there was all of the resolution happened in the episode before this. Yeah, I mean, this was a much slower pace compared to that episode, in that there was, you know, a lot of this, you know, stuff with Harcourt and them, you know, at the on the boat, and you know, the time with him, you know, at the hotel, and just there was a lot of like kind of we're gonna do the resolutions at the end of this. I'm also I literally 10 minutes before the show started, I had found out that a friend of mine had told me that James Gunn had posted online that there are no plans for a season 3 of Peacemaker. No. And so that also gives me a lot of pause, because, you know, you set all this stuff up and there's no, there's going to be no resolution to it. Like we don't know what's going to happen with his brother Keith. You know, what's going to happen. They set up all this stuff with him in this other alternate universe and the, you know, animals that are in the trees, no resolution to any of that. So that's depressing. And then to ask the audience to retain all of this in their heads for 2 years before we get the next Superman film, that's a lot to ask, because we're not going to get it until 2027. So yeah, I'm a little conflicted. I mean, I enjoyed it when I watched it because I enjoy these characters. But I think part of my enjoyment was the fact that we watched the 2 episodes together, and I had such a good feeling about, you know, them escaping from that universe and what that did to him as a character too. You know, have to, you know, watch his father die again. Yeah, and then you know, in his mind, I think his brother, you know, didn't survive that, so that's what he was rushed out of the room. So, yeah, there was a lot more interesting things that happened there. So that's kind of my take.
Real quick before you go, D. So I did watch a bunch of James Gunn's podcasts this weekend, and so when he means Peacemaker's not coming back, he means specifically the actual name of the show. These characters are going to come back, either in like a movie or something like that, and the storyline continues. And he also stated he doesn't expect anyone to know what happened in season 2 of Peacemaker in order to walk into Man of Tomorrow. He said the nuances about filming stuff like this is you got to make sure that you give enough information for the people that don't watch the shit that like this, to the people that are actually watching like Man of Tomorrow. Like, he doesn't expect a 5-year-old kid to watch Peacemaker in his underwear running around in an
Right.
orgy, right? That would be bad. So yeah, like there's the people that don't need to see this, and there's us that saw this that actually know more than the people that don't need to see this, right? So we now know that they're going to use the Salvation storyline. If you guys know what the Salvation storyline is, it's basically Argus sets up a prison planet for metahumans off the books. And so that's kind of the storyline he's going with that. That planet is actually a training ground for Acropolis. There's parademons in there. That's what the monsters all are for. That's basically Darkseid. And this ties into Slider's theory about the new gods. So there's all that kind of stuff that's in play here. But now that you guys kind of given us the... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dee. Give us your take. My bad.
It's okay. Yeah, so I did enjoy the episode. I do agree with Meta Beast for all the episodes leading up to it that it wasn't long enough. And even though this one was an hour, I don't know. I am kind of conflicted because I'm not a producer or writer or anything, so I don't know what the plans are. But as an audience, as a viewer and a fan, I wish we had like 2 hours instead, or like make it, I don't know, just jam pack a whole bunch of stuff into 1 hour kind of thing. I do like how we did get some answers on the whole, didn't mean anything to you. Did anything on the boat like mean anything to you? So we finally get to know like what happened in that Chris kept asking Harcourt if anything, she felt anything. So I do like that part, as well as the group coming all together and just kind of being the support system for Chris when he's, going through his time where he's just kind of putting all the blame on himself, and how he pretty much like fucks up everything for anyone around him and the people that that he loves. And so I really like how they all came together to be his support. And what I enjoyed was Ads, like she like took a stand to be like the I don't know, like the moral compass of the group kind of thing, and just kind of
They're coming for you, Dee.
it's always every time I'm on a live stream. I swear I didn't do it this time. But yeah, she's like such an incredible character. Oh no, it's the ambulance. I hope they're...
Hey, stop! They're outside.
Stop it. That Ads like just took it upon herself to just be the, how do you say it, like the strong one to forefront, like, no, you're not in this alone. We've got your back. And, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like, get off your ass. Stop being big and dumb, and just like, do something about it kind of thing. Because we're here to help you. And then also with the scene with her and her wife, like how she's, I think like she needed to do that in order for herself to move on and just be like who she was meant to be in this show. She is kind of a leader in a way. Like, people listen to her, and at the same time, she does have like this big heart. But I think she was just conflicted with her personal life. But with her taking care of that and addressing it, just is going to help her now to just keep moving forward and doing what she was really meant to do. Yeah, anyways, that was it. Oh wait, no, I lied. I love how everything kind of was like all happy go lucky, but I'm like, okay, this is DC universe. It is not always going to end up like on a happy note, and we get the ending, of course.
Well, can they have 5 minutes at least?
Right?
They had the montage. That was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let them solve one case before they throw them away.
Yeah.
How
But-
long was that final episode? By the way, I'm curious because for me,
102?
oh, so
1
it was
hour.
longer. It was
It was
one of
just
the
1
longer
hour.
ones. It wasn't just
Yeah.
the fact that it was boring me to death. Okay.
I've heard worse online. But so to kind of like hearken what you guys have all said here. I get it. Like, this reminds me of like the TV show Lost, where they really wanted to focus on the characters, but they backed themselves into a corner when they established so much lore and so much shit. Like, what's the island? What's the smoke monster? What's all these things? As an example, they're doing the same thing here. What's the QUC? What's that alien that keeps burning rats? What's going on with Earth
Mhm.
X? Right? Like, what happened to Keith? We're getting all those things, right? And so that's the problem I see with this too. And that's usually whenever they have like something good going for them. Really look at like even the series finale for Lost. Not a lot of people liked it, right? Or the series
Mhm.
finale for other shows like Battlestar Galactica, where it went very religious. No one liked that too, right? This could have very well be the series finale for Peacemaker. And in reality, Gunn told you the truth. It was the best episodes that he ever filmed for him. He said in his podcast that really Peacemaker is a representation of his dad, like a big dumb person that's just trying to do right in the world, trying to do good. And that's why he enjoys making this show so much. That's why he connects so much with Cena, and he's connecting so much with these characters that I guess because he's the big boss, he can do whatever he wants. So really, we're seeing a director and producer have his own creative rights here, and these are the pitfalls with that.
Yeah.
You know, we have an episode that was hyped up in Gunn's vision, in Gunn's mind. But in reality, it was cool, guys. I enjoyed the character moments. My favorite moment is the one we're looking at right here, where she grabs that fucking chair and she literally scratches it over him. Like, if she ever grabs a chair in another future episode of anything, watch out, because she's about to say something.
I thought she
And-
was gonna slap him.
Well, me too, but she didn't have
But
to.
she's like,
She slapped him with his words, but like, you know,
Mhm.
and this is just me. I know everyone's different, right? Like, you know, Metabeast said he was bored to death. With this part, I started to tear up because I could really feel the way that she was delivering her lines, the way that she's a phenomenal actress. Phenomenal actress. She started making me tear up because she's like, you make people feel things, Chris. I saw a bird hug a human for the first time, right? When she said that shit, I'm like, that's right. You know what I mean? And then she says all these other things. She's like, what happens when you touch people, Chris? He says nothing. And she's like, no, man. You know what I mean? You bring things out of people, and then everyone starts sharing shit, right? Even Economos. And it's such a beautiful moment right here. It's not 5 minutes. And then we get to see what they're doing. You know what I mean? We get to see the starting of Checkmate. And here, let me give you guys an example of who Checkmate is, all right? So Checkmate, that's a DC Comics series centered around a secret government agency of the same name, and it's basically like their version of S.H.I.E.L.D. or MI6. And they operate in the shadows and all that other stuff, and they pretty much try to fight between the balance of superheroes and supervillains. The primary objective is to basically potentially stop global threats. Some of the characters that have been in Checkmate in the past have been Amanda Waller. She actually helped set form Checkmate, so it's kind of fitting that it's her daughter instead. Checkmate was actually an arm of Argus that was actually not necessarily the best, like not like our 11th Street kids. They were more kind of like, say, our government now, like the FBI and CIA. They did a bunch of shady shit. And so Gunn states that this is going to be like the good version of Checkmate. Mr. Terrific's also in Checkmate, as well as Bordeaux. So it makes sense why Bordeaux kind of like got roped into all that stuff. And I suspect that's why Flurry's there. It's just people, they like Tim Meadows. Why throw him in there? But that is who Checkmate is. So it's really cool to kind of see that that's what they were doing with the 11th Street kids the whole time. It was an origin story for Checkmate. Unfortunately, I think this is where we're going to go with Peacemaker. Gunn did say he has a secret project he's working on. What if it's Checkmate? What if we're going to get a TV series about Checkmate? So that's kind of where I'm at with this. What is your guys' favorite parts of the show? Metabeast, I know you got something. I'm going to go to you first, man.
My favorite part. Well, first, let me back to the whole heartfelt. Okay, so I know D has to know. I get fucking teary-eyed over some goofy ass crap. At least it feels like it to be when it gets real sentimental. It didn't touch me. It didn't. So I don't know what to say about that, because usually something like that gets to me. But Not in this case. My favorite part, I gotta try to keep them separate because I had to do the same thing. I watched both episodes yesterday. Probably once again with Eagly when he goes and gives Economos the hug. That's I think that really made Economos
Yeah.
made his freaking day, week, year, whatever.
Saw that processed foods he finally fed him, right? Caved in.
Yep. So, that's what I'm going to say is my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean they have
Gotcha,
an
man.
interesting relationship, Economos and Eagly. Like he can be like I'm sure he means well for Eagly, but then like when he was tied up in the chair, you know, on the other side, he was like being so mean to him, like because Eagly wasn't listening to him to like go after how would you call it? The dad and the brother. He just went to look for like a piece of string and he's like, no, like you stupid bird, that's not like what I wanted. Like he's so mean to him.
I don't think I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I just think
Yeah.
Eagly didn't think the situation required any
Him to,
immediate
like, jump in.
attention. I think I mean,
He's like, let's play around with this piece of string.
I was totally shocked by the dad in the episode before, which also leads me to believe maybe Eagly understood that and wasn't concerned.
Like he had instinct, right? He is the prime eagle.
Patient, you'll be fine. Jeez.
You have a point there, Metabeast. I didn't think of that. Yeah, because animals can feel like, you know, certain things.
Yep. And it's Eagly, and you know there's more to Eagly than just being
more than meets the third
eagle.
eye, right?
Yeah.
The third eye.
That is something I want addressed. I want to know more about that eagle.
I know. That's
What-
the other thing
once
that
again,
disappointed me.
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
unanswered.
Tell you, checkmate. It's going to continue in checkmate.
You think that'll be the movie, Checkmate?
No, I think we're going to get a new series. I mean, it just makes sense to keep those
Does.
guys in a new series because budget, right?
Oh, I
If
wonder.
they said there's going to be more, just not Peacemaker. That
Maybe the new
like you
series
said.
is Checkmate and not Peacemaker.
That's right.
Right.
So,
It's gonna
because
be
he said
called
it's a secret series he's been working on. I bet that's it.
Interesting.
And you know, like whenever I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what they're doing, right? But like they don't tell you these things, right? So yeah, but like you know, and I'm not even like the biggest DC geek here, but all the DC geeks would have pointed that out right away. So
Yeah.
okay, Christopher, favorite moments of the finale?
Like I said, you're looking at it right there. Okay.
Yeah.
You're looking at it. I mean, that's what hit it hard. And also, I liked when Chris was like, to Harcourt, the boat. And here we go again, you know, for like the 20th time in the season, right? And, you know, and then, you know, obviously other times, you know, she was under different emotions. The situation was a little bit different. So she had a different answer to what she was maybe wanting to say. But you could tell that this time it was actually the honest answer to what she felt. And it was just funny when he went back, closed the door in the motel room.
Yeah.
He's all dancing around.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yes, finally you got the girl.
He's having a fangasm right there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. Yeah, no, I enjoyed that one too, and that goes back to my reference of what Metabeast said like few episodes back about this is probably going to be one of his final happy moments. I really feel like that was the final happy moment, was where he got confirmation from Harcourt that she does like him, that she did fall for him, that the boat meant something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you could just feel that. And then, like, you know, you see the little montage, checkmate, everything, and then he gets kidnapped by Argus and thrown in the door. So no more happy moments for sure, because man, like that would suck. You know what I mean? You pretty much get thrown in the door. You know exactly what's going on, and this is it. You're stuck, and you hear, oh man, what is that that movie with and anyways, where they get stuck on an island and it's like a bunch of sea monsters on that island. This is what I felt like he's stuck on a planet, and then you hear all those monsters.
Oh,
and all
Jurassic World?
No, not Jurassic World, but they probably ripped it off too from a movie, right?
Like Island of Dr. Moreau.
No, but like
Oh.
something like Deep Rising, the movie Deep
Oh,
Rising with Treat Williams.
Mm.
So at the end of the movie, they get stuck on an island and they're trying to run away from the sea monster. Come to find out, that's where the sea monster lives, right? This is what happened to this guy. But anyways, Slider, best moments of the series.
Yeah, okay. Before I go to the best moment, I want to just touch on something you said before, like with Gunn, and kind of like he has his creative rights, and all that kind of stuff, and you get the good and the bad. My only thing is like I didn't like it when Snyder, the Snyderverse and the Snyder Bros and all that kind of stuff, like how he kind of like took DC like dark. Well, Gunn, like I think if you're going to be a director, at least to the fans, like you have like kind of like a responsibility to the the history of DC and the fandom and stuff. So like with Argus, like Gunn basically has made them a bunch of like goofy clowns, in my opinion. And then like Rick Flag, he's like went like on a crazy arc, like he was good, then he was like for revenge, then he's letting them like do coke and stuff in the like, and like he's all with Lex. So I don't know, but then Argus is supposed to be like the premier spy, basically government agents in the DC universe. So it's just like that kind of thing. It's like, I mean, Marvel, at least even when they did stuff, they took liberties, like they kind of stayed true to the characters and to the like overall vision of kind of like that. So hopefully this is just Gunn because it's Peacemaker, so I'm willing to this is his project and stuff. So hopefully I think we get some more of just like that universe building that he wants to do, and I hope it's just not all like this kind where he just takes a lot of liberties with everything. But anyways, my favorite part I think is actually when Adebayo goes to like her partner, and basically like they sit there and they have that talk, and she's like I didn't really like like it's not fair for me to like make you want my dream, and like I've grown and my my dream has changed, and I think that was just like a really good like closure for that. Like you could really feel the emotion coming off of both of them. I think both of them were amazing in that scene. Like for me, that was like just like a big scene that I thought like that's like a great scene. So that for me, that was probably the one.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
that was a nice scene.
Raven.
There was a couple of good scenes, but one that stands out to me that nobody's mentioned yet is when Adebayo and Vigilante are in his basement by the blood money, and she's trying to convince him to use it, and just how she uses that reverse psychology on him, and she's like, I guess I'm just better friends with him than you are. Like, you're not willing to take on a blood curse for him? Like, I just like how that kind of played out and how she played him.
Yeah.
But for me, the moment that original theme song played, they had me. They had me. Again, there are so many unanswered questions. I think we kind of maybe built up in our own minds that we wanted some answers to, and I hope we get them one day. But I think there's definitely a spinoff.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm okay with it. But yeah.
If not, you're gonna have a bunch of people pissed off and not turn the TV back on, I think. So
Yeah. Well, we're going on strike after this live stream anyway, so.
But you know what's interesting? So when I went to, I guess it's called Crave, the streaming platform here, and I hit play on the episode, it said season finale, not series finale. I just usually it would say series finale, I would think, but it said season finale. So
he said he's not sure if this is going to be a series finale.
Come on.
It's,
That's
guys.
playing
games
Hollywood.
with my
It's
heart.
Hollywood. It's Hollywood.
He
Come on.
said it
Too
was like
well.
that. Yeah, obviously this is a money making machine. They got to bring it back in some way or fashion. He's right.
I mean, Peacemaker's stuck on a planet though, so I mean, you think if this leads into Superman, that's not going to be too like they're not going to be able to use Peacemaker for a couple of years because like I don't see how Checkmate is going to be able to find him and bring him out. Like that would just kind of like negate the whole point of him going there and getting locked away. I don't know. I mean, I just think like I don't know how they're going to bring him back. So maybe that's why Gunn was like, well, I think there is going to be a spinoff. I think Checkmate is going to be in there, like you guys have said, but I don't see Peacemaker being in it right now. I just don't know how they would get him in. So yeah, I mean, so hopefully they do, because I think that's like a missed opportunity, because I mean we all love Peacemaker and I think it's one of their best things going for him right now. So yeah.
So according
Yeah.
to Gunn, Peacemaker will probably not be in Man of Tomorrow because of Cena's schedule. So it could be that. But Cena is coming back. He does play a big role. This is all Gunn now, right? On all these little podcasts I've been watching it, right? Who knows? But Cena will come back. It will not be addressed in Man of Tomorrow where he is and all that other stuff. But it sounds like Salvation is a big part of the DCU lore. So we'll always probably be going back to Salvation, right? Probably trying to figure out what Salvation is. Probably in the beginning, they're going to use it the way that it is in Salvation Run. I think I have the comic book somewhere here. Yeah. So this comic book pretty much depicts on how they find the planet. They dump metahumans over there. I believe Lex and Joker kind of team up together. And at the end of this series run, they find out that this is actually a planet run by Darkseid. This is a training ground for Acropolis. And so parademons at the end of the book start attacking them, and they're able to warp back or portal back to Earth, where they're not happy with the humans, by the way, in this book. So that's where the storyline comes from for the finale for specifically Salvation. And Salvation will be used within the entire DCU arc of their storyline. So I'm assuming they're going to be sending people to this planet, and we'll discover more throughout.
There's something very loud living on it, evidently.
Yeah. There's also tech on the planet that's hidden.
And scary sounding.
Yeah, lots
But
of
I
places.
think if there is a Checkmate spinoff, I don't think Peacemaker is in it. I think it'll focus on all the characters that were in the office there, and maybe they're
Peacemaker
handling
is on
other
the-
case.
He's in the comic, actually. So Peacemaker is also in the Checkmate comics.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Checkmate ran for a pretty long time, if I remember right. Like, so Gunn could pull from, a point where he's not in it, and then like he comes in it later on in the season. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see with Gunn. That's the only thing. We have no idea. Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, I think they're going to bring people back in Creature Commandos. We already know they're filming that. They've already done Lanterns. People are going to come back for Lanterns. In fact, I think I have the slate here of what's coming. So they got Lanterns in 2026,
Yay.
Supergirl, the Lego Batman movie, Batman Night Falls, and then Clayface. And I think Flag is Clayface. Because at the very end, he said, Harcourt said, you wanted me to call you Rick. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. And, like the whole sniffing of the drugs and letting them do whatever they want, the entire Lex crew is returned. To me, that's Clayface. And Clayface I believe part of his powers is not only mimicking, but also getting the memory too, right? So that would explain why he said this is for Ricky, because he remembered what original Flag said, because this is not the Rick Flag from Creature Commandos. Or in the beginning of the season, something happened to him.
Yeah.
And it seems like something happened to him after he saw Lex. So maybe
100 something, definitely. I think you're onto something.
So that's what I think happened to Flag, though. But Shane, anything you want to talk about the series, and also your favorite moment?
Oh boy, about the whole series. I mean,
It's
for
up to
me, for me, it always comes down to Vigilante, and I'll just say, one of my favorite parts from this last episode that nobody's mentioned was the interaction between Vigilante and Fleur at the end when he's doing his Fen Fax again, and he's the first person to like smile and acknowledge, like he knows that he wants a win, so he just starts saying, "Yep, yeah, you're right. That's what they do."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salman Whole Foods.
You nailed it. Yeah. And so
Comes out of a volcano.
yeah. Oh my God. It just, like I could see those two becoming, good friends just from, he knows that that's what Vigilante needed. And so, yeah, that was, and the other thing too is, the scene with them cornering Chris and them all getting out of their cars, and then Vigilante just does it his own way. He just tackles the shit out of him and tases him.
That's what I
It's
one of
just-
my
Got him!
favorites too. Yeah.
he's going to do everything his own weird, twisted way. Like his
Mhm.
sense of morals and values are just all over the place. I also, one thing I did want to mention is for some reason, it just struck me as funny that Judo Master is never out of costume ever. Like
Yeah.
even when he's inside the suit,
Even
when
in the
they're
helmet,
doing,
yeah.
he's in his outfit. Like like when they're all in their new suits for Checkmate, like he's still in his green outfit. Like it's just, I don't know. That for some reason that just struck me as funny. Like he's
Well, he's got
he's
to protect his
always Judo
identity,
Master.
right?
Yeah. That whole episode before where they're having their moment with ads and him, like, I'm sorry that I tased. Remember that time you
Remember that
tased
time
me
you
like
tased me?
1,000
Scrabble.
times?
How many people you killed in the pool before?
Yeah.
4.
This is the most amount of people I've ever killed in a pool. Well, how many have you killed before that? 4. Wow.
He's leveling up.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So that's what I got to offer.
All right, D. Anything you want to talk about the series, and then also favorite moments of the series finale or season finale? Sorry, not series.
Yeah, so like a couple of my favorite parts, and I agree with Shane. That's what I was gonna bring up, was like when Chris got out of prison and he went to their apartment or wherever they were. Economos lets him in, and then it skips to the scene where they're like, he was here and you just let him go? Like, yeah, what was I supposed to do? Tackle him? Well, yeah. And then, like, you see later on that Shane was talking about when they cornered him at the motel, he literally gets tackled by Vigilante and tased. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I thought that line was like how that kind of worked into the episode was pretty cool. And then another one too that, like in the beginning when they're going through all the doors, and like you can see the change, the looks on their faces with Fleury and Bordeaux. Like the first one, who was it that QP? Like he literally got his whole face like bitten off by the imps
Candyland.
in Candyland, and like when they finally came out of the door, you can see like Bordeaux and Fleury's faces, like they're starting to like question, like, am I really doing like what, like, am I on the right side kind of thing? I think that's what they're starting to question themselves. And so it was really fitting that at the end you see them walking in slow motion with the rest of the crew outside of the building for Checkmate. Yeah. So that was a really cool part. And then another part that got me, and it was just a dialogue with Adrian. He's just, I just love the lines that he gets, because when he was talking with Ads about how to get Chris out, and she's like, she brought the bag with the smiley face, so she was ready to like get some money, and he was like, no, why don't we just like threaten the judge's family to like or like kill them, or
Prison break.
prison break, It's like, oh well, I guess we could do that, but I mean it's so much more fun to like go and kill people, or like I was just like, and what did she ask him, like, do you think, what was the question she asked him about, does he think like what he does is good? Is that what she asked him?
Oh yeah,
something along that line.
Yeah. How do you see yourself as a hero? It's like,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, of course I do. And he like wholeheartedly means that, because like he's gonna do whatever it takes, and it may be like the craziest thing anyone's ever heard of, but he's gonna make sure that it happens. And that's why, therefore, it skips to the part where he's full on tackling his best friend and tasering him, because that's just the shit that he's gonna do. So yeah, I just really love the lines that Adrian gets, and just him as a character. yeah, I really love him as a character, and just he's not afraid to just do what needs to be done and not feel bad about it, kind of thing. Like, just take care of business, ask questions later.
I didn't
You
think
know?
about it until all of us talking and all of these images you're showing. Basically every single one of them is. I'm just calling her Abby,
Ads.
and
Ads, yeah.
her being friend or motherly and a boss lady leader.
Mm.
Yeah.
That didn't dawn on me till you show all of those. It's always her. She's the one giving him all the boosts.
Well, there's also the
Yeah.
scene where Harcourt, says, "You've got to listen to a friend of mine. She's got great ideas." I
Yeah.
mean,
True.
She
Yeah.
she talked to the little ninja dude too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what's so interesting in Checkmate, the people, the agents are called like knights and kings and queens. So she's technically the queen of Checkmate, right? So yeah, now she was such a really good supporting character for everybody. But I kind of want to talk about these doors. Now, I am with Metabeast. I wanted to know what was going on with the Cryphon alien, and I found out that Gunn literally wrote him in as a throwaway character. Like, he's literally just the alien that just shows up. Yeah, like you'll never know why he's burning rats. He said he's kind of like the janitor of the QUC. That's basically what he is. That's all he is a janitor. If he was going to be something else later, for all we know, he's cousins with Darkseid. Who
That makes
knows?
no sense.
No, it doesn't.
He's always throwing away the same thing. Maybe not the same exact thing, but that's not being a janitor.
Well, he's kind of like the cleanup crew ish, which is one at a time. It's maybe
he
that's
never
his
helped
sentence.
Peacemaker clean up himself, right?
Maybe he just doesn't know how to take care of pets.
Maybe
Or
he
he's
does not
cleaning
have a
out the
green
rats.
thumb. Yeah, the rats in the kitchen.
We saw some interesting parallel universes. We have this skull spider. The Candyland one's an interesting one, and obviously they didn't want to call it the Candyland one. Now, I am not too much on the Mixoflix lore, but I know these were imps. And do you think, Metabeast, that this is the planet that he resides on and he's ruling?
Well, I want to say one thing about that planet is those little critters reminded me of Galaxy Quest.
Oh, they reminded me of what is the ones that horror movie from the 80s?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I'm trying to think.
You know what I'm saying? But what is the name, right?
Is
And
it
the
Critters?
bounty hunter came down to like try to
Critters?
kill him.
I think
Critters.
it is Critters. Yeah.
Oh no,
I've never
you're
seen
thinking of
that.
something different.
I was thinking of the
There's
gate.
green ones that have sharp teeth and round heads, just like them. That I'm
I
trying.
never
to
watched any of those movies, guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
90s baby over here.
But Critters was fun. Yes.
Critters was good.
They
But
were
yeah, no.
furry.
They were furry. They also rolled around. These guys
But I'm-
kind of ran.
Gremlins.
Yeah, what I'm thinking of
Gremlins, yeah.
looked a lot like them, and no fur.
Yeah.
But they were great. It
My
was
ring
great.
light died. Hold on.
Plushies.
Plushies.
Yeah, the doors are pretty interesting, and like, why only certain doors open, right, and some didn't?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, some are
Yeah.
locked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point.
Well, you don't want people just from any dimension coming into your house. If you're smart, you would lock it, wouldn't you?
Oh, so they
I would
they
say
have the 2FA on their doors,
I guess I
unlike
would
the other
hope so.
ones.
FA.
But when you go into the other universe, they're not in an actual doorway, right? The doorway just appears in the middle of nowhere, right? Versus if you had that machine, you could actually direct the QUC to go to a doorway, right? So like, why they're locked from the inside, right? Not from the world side. They're locked from our side. So who's got the keys, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
got
it could be
this
magic
everything.
too. It could be
Could be
magic.
magic.
Just break them open too.
Like, why are they doors? If that's like some type of high technical place, why are they doors? And why are all the doors like Salvation? It was a ratty white door. Why isn't it like an elevator door or something like that, right? Because we're pretty much in a big, I don't know, dimensional machine. I just found it. This is what frustrates me about the whole season is I really wanted to know the technical side. What is the QUC? What is it? how does it tie into things? Because if you look at it, it's just a big room with a bunch of shit in it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know
Nice
what it
storage
is.
space.
Yeah,
But
and
like, just
if that's it, sorry.
oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, go.
No, if salvation is the overarching story, and this season finale was a big part for the push of the DCU, what the hell is a QUC, and how do you explain that in Man of Tomorrow? Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I think they're not going to have the QUC. I think they're going to do away with it. I think they made that doorway to go instantly to the to salvation, because they said they wanted an instant portal. I think they're just going to bypass the QUC and not use that setup, because if you think about it, like from a production standpoint, like they'd have to recreate the whole QUC and then kind of explain it, which that's part of the reason why I'm kind of like, well, why did they even do it? It's just kind of like they left so much stuff on the table, like I thought that was one of the coolest parts about the whole thing this season was those doorways to other, universes, and there's just so much stuff they could do with that. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm kind of just like, if they don't do anything with that, and then like Earth X kind of doesn't come back, because we don't know, because Gunn said, well, yeah, I kind of left him alive, so he could come back as a villain, but it's kind of like he was just like, well, maybe it's a second thought in his mind. Like that's what I got when he was talking about it on some podcast. So I don't know, but I'm with you, Nano, on that. I really wanted to know the technical part of it, like what's going on with all those. But yeah, we just don't have it.
Give us the finger.
Well, another thing too about the doors is like in the beginning where they have that bird's kind of point of view of them walking and investigating like all the don't read messages.
My bad.
I was like, you got DMs. What do you call it? What do you call it? Okay, there's supposed to be 99 doors. It looked like a hell of a lot more than 99 doors.
Yeah.
To me. So I'm like, that's bullshit. Like there's so many like
That's bullshit.
it's like,
Who's inventorying it? Stupid alien.
yeah, and like
It
and
wouldn't have
who
taken that
plays-
long to check them all either then, if they're not
yeah,
all
and like
open.
and who like why are they not they're obviously the doors are not in chronological
order.
chronological order.
Yes.
Like, oh, door number 21. Oh, there's door number 4. It's like start from fucking 1 and make it all the way to like 99.
Wow.
Like I don't understand. Like seriously, I don't know. It's like how did they choose? Like they have that machine.
Decimal
They
system.
pick they pick the ball number out of the spinning thing. Like, oh yeah, let's
Bingo.
check out door number 5 today. Yeah. Anyway.
You know,
Sorry.
there's a lot of unanswered questions, like, what is the QUC? It looks like doesn't it look like the severed floor if you think about it? You know what I mean? Like, because it's got like the partition ceilings at the top. So I don't know. Anyways,
Anyway.
yeah. Well, that was the series finale that we think might be happening. Let's go to some speculation on what we think is going to happen in the overarching DCU. Now, guys, I went to a different AI this time around to see if we get any different values here, since Lizzie wasn't cutting it. And so this is the specs that I got from Gemini instead. So Gemini, yes.
Sorry, real quick. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay, so on the boat scene, when just before or after they have their kiss, there's a guy next to Hardcore with a hat that says YXY 1017. And so the significance of 1017 is that's the date of the butterfly invasion. Anyway.
She literally was up at 1 last night watching this episode with her notepad. I'm not kidding.
Fine-tooth comb, huh?
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, continue. Sorry, Hinano.
No, and I forgot to point out one last thing. We almost got this. This almost was a reality. Like, Gunn was actively talking with Reynolds about this, and they both tried to make this happen, but realized there were multiple hoops. You know how we complained that we didn't get Deadpool Batman? Well, trying to get these guys on the screen, because Gunn really wanted them to open up a door and Ryan Reynolds was there, or Deadpool was there, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And but even this, right? Like, as an example, like, he went too far. He's like, I want to try to get a Marvel character in here. I'm like, screw that. You could have gotten any DC character from any freaking multiverse. You could have gotten Grant Gustin. You could have gotten Green Arrow. You know,
Yeah.
you could have gotten freaking Dean Cain, right? I mean, anybody, right? And even Dean Cain would have been hilarious to see, right? So, but like anything, but he almost made this a reality, but it did not happen, obviously. So, oh well. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
anyways, so let's look at the spec right here. AI says this: with Peacemaker season 2 over and Flurry's announcement and interview of joining the DCU, James Gunn and Peter Safran has a new trajectory for the DCU universe, and it's becoming clear with one, the Salvation arc as a central conflict. At the end of season 2 of Peacemaker, it directly sets up a major storyline with the introduction of Salvation, a brutal prison universe for metahumans. This is likely not just a one-off plot device, but a central conflict for the DCU first chapter. It expects this to be a recurring element with the moral and ethical implications of such a plan to send people to a prison off the books. Second, speculation is a slower, more deliberate path to the Justice League versus before. We find out during the Snyderverse, Zack Snyder really wanted to do a Man of Steel 2, but the producers in the studio said, no, we need to rush and do a Justice League. Now we're going to have a little slow burn. We're going to have Supergirl. We're going to have Clayface. He is going to be doing a full-fledged Brave and the Bold. So that's going to be very interesting. Also, number 3, the authority of ideological antagonists. While the Authority, the movie, has faced some development hurdles, the team introduction is still a key part of the plan. Gunn states that this is something that's going to happen after the second Man of Steel movie. I don't know why it added that in there. I didn't proofread this, guys. And then it says right here, also an overarching theme will be the Gods and Monsters theme that's going to be culminating throughout the overarching DCU. This will explore the fine lines between being a hero and being a monster, being a god or being a destructive force. This theme will likely play out throughout the major crossovers of all of Gunn's shows throughout the DCU throughout the 10 years that he is slated to do this. Let's see. It says right here, there may be a Justice League Dark in the play. Lobo may make an appearance. We're going to be able to learn more about the Green Lantern universe. And that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of slop in here that I want to continue. So what do you guys think is going to happen, you guys? We'll go down the line, then we'll kind of end it here. We're getting at the hour. Christopher.
Yeah, so they want to get more into Planet Salvation. I think that there's going to be a checkmate intervention there. They're going to go in, but there's also going to be maybe some other people that we see in there. Maybe a couple people break out of this location. But anyways, it might break off to, I think, another spin-off.
Let's go. Meta Beast, what would you like?
Like more Marvel.
More Marvel, yeah. Exactly, D. Exactly.
More Marvel.
You read my mind.
Oh my god. I'm gonna mute you.
I don't have this problem with fucking Marvel. So you get nice, great action, and
Yeah.
you may have some questions, but not as many as you do here. And a bunch of stuff you guys talk about, I have no clue. I mean, I know Batman, I know Superman, I know Wonder Woman, I know the Justice League, I know Green Lanterns. Love the Green Lanterns, always been a fan of that. But then you start talking about a bunch of this other stuff, the checkmate and the.
You literally know an
All that stuff,
anti-hero
I've
that
never
no
heard
one
of that
knows
stuff.
nothing about, by the way.
And-
So,
You know, Suicide Squad was new to me, but I was cool with it. It was fun. It was action packed. Stuff happened, crazy stuff. They were funny. I don't know.
Well, hopefully we
Noted.
can lure you
My whole
into the
DCU
next
has
one.
been turned upside down.
he'll be back for season 3 if we have it. He'll be back. Slider.
Yeah, I think Gunn's gonna use Salvation kind of like loosely connected to the comic book. Like I think he's gonna have it as like the New Gods with Darkseid, but I think that's gonna be like an overarching like theme throughout the next like 10 years maybe. Like maybe Darkseid is gonna be like Thanos, and it's gonna take years and years to really get to Darkseid. You know, they're gonna run into the parademons on this, you know, planet, and maybe like the Green Lanterns, like, you know, kind of like investigate in theirs and kind of like run into Darkseid's, minions, and maybe like Man of Tomorrow, whoever the bad guy is in that, maybe they send him to this planet, and maybe this planet starts to get populated throughout like the next few years with bad guys, and that kind of like sets up this planet, and then that kind of leads into Darkseid, later. But I mean, I definitely think Gunn said this is going to be a pivotal point for the whole universe. So I mean, I kind of think that's how he's going to use it, and then we're gonna get like the new gods and that whole part of it, and that'll bring in Darkseid. But I mean, I still think Brainiac's coming in somehow because he's just too big of a character, and it seems
He's
like
in Salvation's Run. He's in Salvation.
Yes, yeah. So the only thing with like going directly from Salvation Run, like because Salvation Run, you've got like Lex Luthor and then the Joker, and they're kind of at odds with each other. But I mean, I don't see how Luthor right now kind of seems like he's running stuff. And then if he teams up with Superman, I mean, unless there's a twist and like they send him there because of something at the end of that movie, maybe that could work. But then you still got to get the Joker in there. So maybe it's some different, that's what I'm saying. James Gunn might take some liberties, and it's different villains that get put there. And he kind of does something similar, but with different, because I don't see the Joker happening in the next year, really, before Man of Tomorrow. So I don't know, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, first off, I agree with everything you said, especially the new gods. After you pointed that out, when you said the new gods during that last review we did, I went down a deep dive on that, and I think you're on it, spot on. And I think the QUC is completely related to that. But guys, we got Shay Byron in the studio. What is up, Shay?
Yay!
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's okay. We changed the time on you, so sorry.
Oh, no worries. You didn't change the time. I just got back from New York Comic Con, so just a little traffic.
Yeah, it's tough being Catwoman, right? So, well, it's good to see you, Shay. We're actually kind of going through our final thoughts, but since you're here, we would love to hear your thoughts on the overarching series finale that we think might happen. We kind of gave everyone our speculation. Everyone kind of knows what's going on, so kind of give us your take on the episode. What was your favorite character moments and your whole take for the season?
So I'll start with my whole take for the season, because I felt a little lost, because now I feel like, wow, sky's the limit. Where are we going from here? Like, especially with how are they going to find, I have all these questions. How are they going to find him? How's he going to get out of there? So I feel like it's almost similar to this last season where they had to go and rescue him from the other dimension. Now they're going to have to rescue him from this dimension. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's what's going to happen next, but I am kind of excited, intrigued, but also a little bit apprehensive, because I'm not sure if we're just going to do another, saving him from another dimension.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I want to say that I feel like it was a very emotional episode for Harcourt, as well as for ads. And I feel like it was great to see them as actors, show this side of their skill set. Because especially Harcourt, she's so hard on the outside. So to show her vulnerabilities, it was almost like I was seeing the Harcourt from the other dimension in this episode. So I thought it was interesting. Let's see. I feel like, also starting the agency afterwards, I thought it was a little questionable, because they didn't really bridge how, I don't know Tim Meadows' character's name, but Tim Meadows' character, how he was able to join. There was just some missing.
Someone else pointed that out as well.
Yeah, so it would have been nice to kind of get it, but maybe they'll explain it later, because they also finally showed us, Harcourt's and Chris's relationship, or what happened on the boat. They kept talking about it forever, and finally we got to see it. So that was a nice closure to that, and also beginning. So I'm excited to see how this is going to change both of their characters, especially Harcourt, because I really like her badass. I don't want to see her soft.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So one thing I did like to kind of go back to that scene with Harcourt. What I liked, and Christopher pointed this out, is when like he asked her one more time, right, at the motel, like, did it mean anything on the boat, right? Did it mean anything? And that's after we see the montage, and you know they just finished kind of deliberating and talking to Chris and saying, "We need you, man. We're gonna start something cool," and you can see. And I remember watching Gunn's podcast. He said he wasn't sure where he was going to take Harcourt. Was she going to just walk away for like the third and last time and never say anything and just leave him hanging? Or was she going to turn around? And she actually turned around and she said, "No, you big dummy." It meant a lot, right? And so right there in that scene, you can see that she's also trying to change as well. And I really like that levity that we got at the very end for that.
Yeah.
So
Enjoyed that too.
was really good. But yeah, we've had some mixed reviews here. You know, some liked it, some didn't. You know, there's a little mixed bag. I really feel like when you give someone creative rights to something, they're really going to be creative. Gunn has been stating that 6 and 8 is the best work he's ever done. And that's to Gunn and his creative vision, right? Maybe not necessarily to us in our reviews. I've been looking at the reviews online. It's a mixed bag. But Shay, what do you think is going to happen now? Now that we have Checkmate. I'm familiar with Checkmate. I'm also familiar with Salvation's Run. So I understand where they're going with this planet, which basically is it's a prison planet established by Argus Waller. It's actually Acropolis's training ground. So it's tied to Darkseid in some way, right? So we got that Darkseid tie right there. And we have the Checkmate tie, which is like DC's version of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Where do you think we're going?
Well, I think
Or you know already.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I think we're definitely going to get like a ton more cameos. I'm excited for that. That's my only speculation as far as direction, because it just seems like this planet is like a whole new world and it's sky's the limit. So let's see what they can give us.
Yeah. Do you think that we're going to see these characters again? Because Gunn did state this might be the last episode of Peacemaker. Do you think that Checkmate was that secret series that he was actually planning this whole time? Because that series is tied to Mr. Terrific and Bordeaux as well.
Oh, nice. I did not know about that. That sounds very plausible. I would be excited for that. Because when you think about it, I feel like this episode felt so a little empty, because I feel like the previous episode may have been the height of it. It just felt like building and then building to nothing. So
I want my money back.
It's kind of like episode 7 should have included 8 in it, right?
Yeah. 8 was like an afterthought. I was like, let's just throw this last one in.
Especially with 7 only being 28 minutes or whatever it was. You know?
And the hype did not help this episode too.
Yeah.
So lastly, Shay, do you think Rick Flag got replaced with Clayface? Because he sure seems odd at the end.
That's a good, well, I don't know. He's still like out for vengeance, so I don't.
But he's all cushy now with Lex versus in the Superman movie. He wasn't cushy.
That's true. But he's also using him for his own needs.
That's true too.
And what he said to Peacemaker at the very end was totally him.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's just so weird though, because like he was a protective person in the beginning for all the Argus agents, if you really think about it. And now he's like sending them to their deaths. He's like letting people snort white stuff on the desk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this is a completely different Rick Flag. Even in Creature Commandos, like watching Creature Commandos and watching this Rick Flag, it's like something happened to him. So, but that's just me. You could be right. He could just really be a douche.
Festered.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see, guys. All right, so we're closing it out. Shay, we got your take. Raven.
One thing.
Go ahead.
Did anybody else see what I said about Economos in the dance, flipping up the fingers? Did somebody?
I gotta go back. I gotta go back and see, because I rewound it.
I had to rewind it too. I'm like, wait,
did
I see what I saw? and I rewound it, and yes, both hands he's flipping off as he runs towards the camera at the end when they all run towards the camera. Then
Okay, I
Island.
gotta go back then and stop it.
I was wondering if anybody saw anybody else do something.
He might have been
to-
flipping me off. I don't know.
He's like an hour on this episode. Fuck this. No, I don't know.
All right, cool.
I gotta go back and
nobody
do
else
it.
did.
I'll go back and watch it again. just
He's
to see,
probably
but I
flipping
believe
off
you.
Gun. He's like, it's too short.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, see? He had my sentiment.
Can we say that Johnny Economos is a fan favorite right here, just for
Oh,
being the
Totally.
biggest, dumbest, most
Yes,
like weakest link that we all love?
He can be such an asshole too, though.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But that's his allure, right? I have all of us probably have a friend like John Economos. I have a friend like John Economos. I don't want to say his name. D, you know who this is. He was my roommate. So yeah. So I'm used to a friend like that. But Raven, floor is yours. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I really enjoyed like the past 2 seasons. I'm glad that, I found it kind of late, so it's all kind of fresh for me where I got to watch a bunch of it. I think I finished the first season maybe a couple weeks before the next season aired, so that was kind of nice. It's hard for me to speculate because I don't have that knowledge of the backstories and the history of the comics and stuff. But all I can speak on is what I would like to see happen, and that's a spinoff of a Checkmate TV show where we get to focus on those characters and see them solving cases or whatever it is, and then maybe eventually figure out how to get Peacemaker out. But yeah, that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see more. It doesn't have to be like specifically Peacemaker, but I'd love to see the characters again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fall in love with him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, I
Final
mean,
take.
I love the series. I thought it was a lot of fun. If this is the last of Peacemaker, I know everybody said that they would love to see Checkmate come back as a series. Me personally, I'd rather have Vigilante be his own series because I want to know why is he so mad at his mother. I want to know more about him, and I want to see him in action. How did he acquire all that cash and all those drugs? I want to see all of that. Him just being Vigilante. But that's just me because I think he's hilarious. So
Yeah.
that's where I'll leave that.
All right.
That would be cool
Dee?
to see. I'm sure Raven is with you on that.
Yes,
Vigilante's own series.
I want vigilantes, so I want them to
Yes.
get his other vigilante from other dimensions. That's their show.
Be awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure where to take this. I mean, I've heard you guys speculations on what might happen. So I'm just here for the ride. I'm gonna see what comes up. I did enjoy the Creature Commando animated series. So maybe if they have something in between that kind of like fills in the holes or like gets us ready for whatever the next thing is, that would be kind of cool. While I'm like eating my computer here. Yeah, other than that, I do like the speculations. I'm just kind of hyped on whatever comes next. I'm here for it, and hopefully I can review it with you guys. I'm here for the ride. I love DC, and hopefully we get more episodes in other series with not just like a filler episode, but just action-packed kind of stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. More action. Yep.
All right.
What about you, Hinano?
Well, I gotta say, I've enjoyed doing the review of this show. I think I was telling Shane a few episodes back, either Shane or Big Bro, that I haven't had this much fun in a very long time on this show since we started doing Severance. And I like these kind of shows where we continue on like a season versus like we do standalone reviews here on movies and stuff like that, though. And I think we kind of started as a crew during Superman. So it's very fitting that we kind of go into this DC realm. I'm a big fan of DC. I'm looking forward to this and kind of like to talk about what Dee said about Creature Commandos. when Gunn made the cartoon, he made sure to hire actors that could play themselves in a real life movie from the cartoon. So all those voices that you hear from Creature Commandos will be the real actors when they come to real life. When you see them in like Man of Tomorrow, because these characters are going to intermingle between the cartoons as well as real life. So I can't wait for that. As you can see, there's a Creature Commando character on the front cover of Salvation Run right there. But I'm looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to this storyline. I'm really hoping they kind of follow the storyline a little bit because it's really cool. We get to dive into the villains, and if you guys are fun in the villains, and you get to see their side on the planet. Joker and Lex kind of team up in this comic, so it's pretty cool. But I really just want to see more DC. I think we were in a lull for DC. I was a fan of the Snyderverse. I wasn't a fan of some of the directions they took with Snyder. I just like these guys right here. A lot of people aren't fans of certain direction that Gunn's gonna take. The quality's different. You go look at the Snyderverse, it's very polished. You go look at Gunn, it's like you opened up a freaking Happy Meal, and we're not happy all the time. So that's kind of what we're getting here. But I'm just happy to see DC in media again, in the theaters, on TV. And I'm with you guys. I want to see a Vigilante series so bad. If you guys saw Vigilante in the freaking Arrowverse, you guys would have puked. That guy was terrible. The voice, the actor, the whole thing. Don't even get me started on Mr. Terrific as well. Let's just forget those guys never existed there. But here in this universe, they're cool. I dig the actor. And I'm with you, Raven. I really want to see like a Spider-Man moment. But you have a ton of vigilantes coming out of, or 99 of them come out of doors, right? As they come to try to help people, right? That would be awesome. But I think you can only make series like this on HBO with the fucks and shits. You're not going to get that in a movie, right? So you got to have a vigilante series on HBO Max, or even all these series. Continue them on HBO Max and just have the fluff in the Superman movies and all that stuff. But that's my take here, guys. That's all I got. This has been a lot of fun. Dee, close out the show.
Yeah, thank you, panel. It's been so fun reviewing Peacemaker with you guys, and the audience as well for coming in. And we got some new people in the chat, so thank you for coming and being part of the conversation. Yeah, can't wait for whatever next movie or series we cover next. I hope everyone else can join in as well. But yeah, this has been really fun. So thank you guys for your time and just being here with us and everybody else.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I want to thank the panel here. You know, it's been a pleasure. Slider, Christopher, MetaBeast, Shay, Raven, Shane, as always. And it's been fun to do this with you guys. And I look forward to doing
together, the Severed Floor crew.
Stop getting emotional. Stop. Chill out, man. Anyways, guys, we'll be back. I'm not sure when, but keep the bell notifications on. Until the next time, take care and aloha.
Peace.
See you.
Bye.
Oh, wrong button.
Broken down, but I'm not done.